Plot twist! Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 reveals no one saw coming.
Your destiny lies with me, Skywalker. Obi-Wan knew this to be true.
For this list, we're discussing the most unexpected reveals from film that left viewers speechless, and we'll be including both plot twists and identity reveals. Considering the nature of this list, it probably goes without saying, but a major spoiler alert is in order.
18 months ago, you did something remarkable. Something not even my superior has done.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Ghostface Unmasked. Scream. The biggest twist in this movie was that Drew Barrymore, who was marketed as the main lead in the film, was only in it for like 2 seconds. Just kidding, though that was quite the bait and switch. The Scream franchise, which began in 1996 and continued for over a decade until 2011, distinguished itself by holding up a mirror to the genre, as well as calling out and toying with common horror tropes. Main character Sidney Prescott is stalked by the mask-wearing killer Ghostface, and he is seriously creepy. Well, more like they are creepy. The huge plot twist comes near the end of the movie, when it's revealed that Ghostface is actually 2 killers, not just 1. And it made for a killer reveal.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Number 9. Red is Adelaide is Red. Us. With his debut feature film Get Out, Jordan Peele announced himself as a potentially game-changing filmmaker, one who knows how to keep audiences on their toes. His follow-up, Us, is a thrilling horror movie starring Lupita Nyong'o that pushed the boundaries within the genre to new psychological heights.
The two were connected, together.
The story Red tells the Wilsons about the girl and her shadow is seriously haunting, but also the key foreshadowing for the final twist.
You don't know what happened to her. Anything could have happened to her.
In the film's final moments, Adelaide again recalls the incident from her childhood at the funhouse, this time revealing the full picture. Red attacked Adelaide and left her trapped in the funhouse with the tethered, meaning that for the entire movie, Red was Adelaide, and Adelaide was Red. Number 8. The Real Jigsaw Killer. Saw. The dead body is not dead. We repeat, the dead body is not dead. This hugely successful franchise has racked up more than its fair share of twists and turns over the course of numerous sequels. But the twist ending of the first film remains arguably the property's greatest to date.
Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you.
As the main characters attempt to navigate the cruel game of life and death into which they've been thrust against their will, it quickly becomes clear that death is far more likely than escape. In Saw's final scene, after all the tension and bloodshed, the dead body in the middle of the room slowly rises up.
He's a very interesting person. His name is John.
He has an inoperable frontal lobe tumor.
The villainous jigsaw killer was hiding in plain sight the whole time. Number 7. The Bunker. Parasite. This genre-bending film is a wild ride from start to finish. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, who won 4 Academy Awards for the film, Parasite can be described as cerebral, funny, and thrilling. The title Parasite is quite telling, as something that lives off of another is essentially the boiled-down premise of this movie. The Kim family secretly infiltrates the wealthy Park family, but they aren't the only ones. The Park's former housekeeper and her husband were keeping secrets too. The hidden underground bunker definitely makes for an unexpected twist, one that added just the right amount of excitement and tension. Though, as to the question of who the real parasites are, that remains up for debate. Number 6. Who is Andrew Laeddis? Shutter Island. This Scorsese thriller follows Edward Teddy Daniels, a U.S. Marshal investigating a missing patient of the titular island psychiatric facility.
Sorry, doctor. You don't happen to have an aspirin, do you?
Suffering migraines and hallucinations, Daniels becomes increasingly paranoid and believes something is definitely off about the whole thing.
Tremors are getting pretty bad. How are the hallucinations?
Get out of here, Teddy. This place is gonna be the end of you.
The plot comes to a head when the staff reveals that Daniels himself is the arsonist he has ultimately been chasing after. They were performing an experiment to see if he would recall the events that led him to the facility. Teddy Daniels' real name is Andrew Latis. He killed his wife after she drowned their children.
They'll be our living dolls.
The experiment is ultimately deemed a failure, but Leonardo DiCaprio's statement at the end of the film implies he does in fact remember. Knowing the truth, he'd simply rather be lobotomized.
Which would be worse? To live as a monster? Or to die as a good man?
Number 5. Tyler Durden, also known as the narrator. Fight Club. Ever notice that Edward Norton's character in Fight Club doesn't have a name? Known only as the narrator, his life becomes infinitely more exciting and chaotic after meeting Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you do not talk about Fight Club.
They establish a fight club together that soon evolves into an anti-consumerism organization that condones violence and anarchy. The massive twist comes when the narrator tracks down Durden to a different city, where he informs him that they are one and the same.
Because we're the same person.
That's right.
The brilliant editing throughout the film, which included split-second spliced frames of Durden in scenes with the narrator, paired with this iconic twist, firmly established this movie as a cult classic.
I am smart, capable, and most importantly, I'm free in all the ways that you are not.
Tyler's not here. Tyler went away. Tyler's gone.
What?
Number 4. Home Sweet Home, Planet of the Apes. Imagine waking up on a strange planet almost 2,000 years after your space mission began. Well, that's exactly how Planet of the Apes begins, and it only gets wilder from there. Shortly after landing, astronauts Taylor, Dodge, and Landon are captured by primates who rule the planet.
The sooner he is exterminated, the better. It's a question of simian survival.
They realize humans are imprisoned and enslaved, while the apes, chimpanzees, and orangutans are the masters of society. A scary concept for sure, especially when the primates threaten to lobotomize, castrate, and kill Taylor. He escapes to a forbidden area where the plot twist and truth is finally revealed. He's been on Earth all along.
My God. I'm back. I'm home.
Upon seeing a half-buried and demolished Statue of Liberty, the man breaks down, cursing those responsible for humanity's fall.
You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Number 3. I Am Your Father. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Not only is Star Wars among the most influential entertainment franchises in the world, but it also gave us one of the most quoted plot twists in cinematic history.
You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Don't let yourself be destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
In The Empire Strikes Back, Vader attempts to convince Luke to join him on the dark side while engaging the young would-be Jedi in a lightsaber duel. After cutting off Luke's hand, Vader reveals a shocking secret to the seemingly defeated young hero, uttering the now iconic words,
I am your father.
If it weren't so devastating to Luke, it would actually be kind of heartwarming.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Either way, when the movie came out in 1980, it was one huge plot twist. Number 2. Dead People, The Sixth Sense. Admittedly, M. Night Shyamalan has had a bit of a bumpy career, directing more than his fair share of flops. But when The Sixth Sense hit theaters in 1999, he was being heralded as one of the most promising young storytellers working in the medium.
I want to tell you my secret now.
The major plot twist has inspired and appeared in many movies, including The Others, which was released just a few years after. All of the clues were spelled out plain as day. The kid literally tells us that he interacts with the dead.
I see dead people.
Looking back, it all makes sense, but the first viewing was a huge shock to everyone who watched. Stellar performances by both Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment made this plot twist an absolute jaw-dropper.
Who were you talking to?
Just practicing my lines.
True story, I was very shocked when I saw The Sixth Sense. Actually, I was shocked at all of these, and I do love a good reveal. Our number 1 is iconic, and you probably won't be shocked by it today, but I cannot even imagine what it must have been like to see this movie when it was originally released. You can use that clue to guess, and then wait until after these honorable mentions to see if you're right about the top reveal no one saw coming.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew. What were you doing in the bar if you didn't know?
Where are you from?
The woods.
You came from the woods. In there?
You told me you don't remember. You black out. So how do you know about her neck?
비밀을 모르는 당신의 이름은 오대수. 비밀을 아는 당신은 몬스터예요. 종이 또 한 번 울리면 몬스터가 뒤돌아 걷기 시작합니다.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Norman Bates is the Psycho. Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's legendary psychological horror film needs no introduction.
Mrs. Bates.
The entire ending is one big twist, arguably the greatest and most memorable in cinematic history. First reveal, Mrs. Bates has been dead for the whole movie. Second reveal, Norman is the killer. Third reveal, Norman is Mrs. Bates in his mind. Setting a precedent for plot twists and identity reveals, Psycho paved the way for hundreds of films for decades to come.
They'll see, and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
In the ending monologue, Norman's inner voice, or rather the voice of his mother, saying that Norman's innocence will become known because she wouldn't even harm a fly, is absolutely chilling. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.